On today's wrestling news, we've got some big updates on WrestleMania 42.
A top WWE star is working hurt.
The real reason some top stars are off AEW.
And Omos says he's patiently waiting for his WWE return.
Are you ready? Are you ready for the news times? My name is Phil Chambers and I'm joined by Gareth Morgan to talk all things wrestling news. But first up, WrestleMania 42. You might have noticed there's some shifts going on around this. So we've got some updates, basically. There was no update really on SmackDown itself, but Triple H has put a little social media video up. It doesn't specifically mention WrestleMania or where it's going to be held or anything like that, but it does talk about New Orleans in general. He basically says that you may have noticed the shift in some of the dates on the WWE calendar, was the sort of closest he got to hinting about WrestleMania itself. And basically announced that New Orleans was going to get a Money in the Bank on August 29th next year, which means they're moving it to after SummerSlam, which is the first weekend in August, the big sort of two-night SummerSlam event kind of thing. So it's usually held between May and July, so odd that they're kind of shifting it back, but maybe that's just a free weekend that they had and they were just like, yeah, sure, wherever. There you go, New Orleans. Thanks. See you later. He did say they'll be getting a WrestleMania at a later date to be announced at some point in the future. So I'll have to wait and see about that. But as for WrestleMania 42 itself, Dave Meltzer in the Wrestling Observer newsletter had some updates specifically about that. Now, there's two major roadblocks behind them hosting it in Las Vegas next year. So the first one is that there is a concert booked for the Allegiant Stadium that hasn't been announced yet, that is very close to that Mania weekend, which will make the sort of get-in for all the equipment and tech and everything quite tight. So the booked in Allegiant Stadium for the 18th and 19th, which is the same weekend that it was this year, really. And they got the Allegiant Stadium to ask the concert promoters if they'd move it. And they said, no, we've got a contract. Get out of here, obviously. So it's a little ripple that I assume WWE will find a workaround to, probably just by making people work 24/7 in the run-up to Mania to make sure it's all set up on time. But we'll have to wait and see with that. And the other one is that the Las Vegas Convention Center has someone booked in there for that weekend, but not for the whole building. So there is space, but they won't have as much space as they had this year for the WWE World setup. But it's Las Vegas. It's not like that on other spaces available. There's a bit of a convention center in Mandalay Bay that they could use, which is also an MGM property. So there's the options for that one. So basically they are running with Las Vegas regardless of anything that gets in their way because they're getting loads of money for it. The main reasons are that they didn't think they could make as much money in New Orleans as they could in Las Vegas. The TKO execs live in Las Vegas, so they loved having it as like a local thing. Nick Khan grew up in Vegas, and so basically they just love Vegas, and it's not going to be a one-off either. This is going to be more of like not a full-on residency for Mania, but they're probably going to end up running Vegas more often than not. Basically, Las Vegas wants a sort of big, huge, major sporting event every year, at least one. So on years where Vegas doesn't have like a Super Bowl or a college football national championships or like something like big, they're probably going to have a WrestleMania. So don't be surprised if we start seeing WrestleMania in Vegas a lot more often.
Yeah, and this one, I have mixed emotions with this because I love the fact that it's in Vegas, and that means like it felt huge this year, like in the lead up, and like the actual Mania weekend felt massive. Like seeing you guys do all the amazing shows and all that stuff, it looked awesome, and I'm like, yes, we get that again, all that kind of stuff. Give me more of that. Hook it to my veins. The thing I'm a bit like about is if this does become a recurring thing and it does go there a lot in like a very short space of time. I'm an aesthetics guy and I like my Mania to feel a bit different, like year to year, like the colour scheme, everything else, and like being in the same stadium over and over and over again. It's a very nice stadium, it's a very cool stadium, but unless they really go for it and change up the aesthetic, if it just feels like the same one again and starts blurring together, I'm just going to be a bit like...
There is the potential, I guess, like they've got Allegiant Stadium for next year, but they're building that new massive baseball stadium that's like just across the road from the Strip where Tropicana used to be, I think. And that's going to be an MGM property as well. So there is the potential of like switching between those two buildings, depending on how big the baseball stadium's going to be, obviously.
Maybe one on one night, one on the other night, that kind of stuff. That could be fun.
I mean, that'd be nuts.
Yeah, that'd be nuts.
Yeah, there's potential there for mixing it up. But I mean, I'm not against Vegas just because we've got contacts in Vegas now, and it's kind of going to work out for us. Let's do it again. Anything's possible in the pyramid, like we say.
Yeah, so that was a fun time that was had in Vegas last time. So hopefully, you never know, like if we can get back there, like and just do all that fun stuff again, do the fun shows and have all that stuff. That's something we love. So we'll see. We'll keep our eyes peeled on this. I think the story obviously is going to develop in the coming days, the coming weeks. So we'll keep a close eye on it. Something else to keep a close eye on right now is Drew McIntyre. Because obviously he's going to be at Saturday night's main event, which is tonight because it's Saturday and it's going to be the night soon. There you go. Good at this job, you know.
Good.
And
good journalism.
That's just what I do. It's just what I do, man.
What are your sources?
Well, let me tell you. So he's obviously had a bit of a rough couple of weeks, couple of months, because at Mania he had that big street fight with Damian Priest, and then he had the big fatal 4-way at Backlash. And in that match, you may recall, he got thrown off like a platform through a table and whacked his head on the ground, and everyone winced and thought, oh my god, is he dead? He's not dead. He's all right. He was fighting Damian Priest on SmackDown, so he's okay. But he is working hurt right now. He's in a bit of pain. He was evaluated by the medical team after Backlash and checked out to see if he was okay and all the rest of it. But since then, he said that, he's told the Orlando Sentinel that he can't turn his head all the way left. Like, he can't fully turn it left right now. That's never what you want, really, is it? But then he went into he gave a bit of a quote about there being a difference between being hurt and being injured. He said, working hurt is just what happens if you're an athlete, especially as the years go by. If you're injured, it is something to take care of. Maybe back in the day, we would have taped it up and gone with it. In the past, I have worked with muscle tears and breaks, which isn't, I think he means bone breaks, not muscle breaks. I'm going to just give him that there. Which isn't the most sensible thing, but the way we operate now, you want to last for the long run. So he's a smart chap, Drew McIntyre, and he's saying there are certain injuries that we don't try and power through anymore because that's silly and you're going to do some long-term damage. But a lot of wrestlers right now are probably working with aches, pains. They're dropping their bodies off things and slamming into each other for a living. You're going to get a few little bits and bobs here or there. As long as they're not fully falling apart, that's good. But McIntyre, more than anyone right now, has been through a lot physically. So yeah, not that surprising that he's working hurt, but we just hope he takes care of himself tonight in the steel cage match, and then maybe has a week or two off just to rest. But knowing Drew McIntyre, he's not a man who likes taking time off, is he?
Yeah, that's one of those things. It just kind of comes with the territory of wrestling, unfortunately. But all we can say is sort of hope he gets well soon and is back to 100%, because he's damn good, is old Drew McIntyre, and we don't want to see him hurt. That's just never want to see that. So yeah, hopefully get well soon, Drew. But next up, I want to go back to something I said last week about my dad's Just Giving thing. Quick update if you weren't here last week. My mum died of pancreatic cancer when I was a kid, and my dad got the exact same cancer last year. Yay. Luckily, he has gone through it. He's in remission, and he's had most of his insides removed. But he's fine now, or at least he's getting back to health. And he's doing a sponsored walk next month. So in June, he's going to be walking 60 miles, which is completely nuts because he couldn't walk around his house not that long ago. So I'm going to put the Just Giving thing in the comments one more time, just in the pinned comments. So if you can give anything, that would be hugely, hugely appreciated. All the proceeds are going to Pancreatic Cancer UK, so it's a really, really good cause. But I just wanted to say thank you to everyone that donated last week when I mentioned it, because I didn't tell him about it, and it went from 60 quid to 700 quid over a couple of days. And he was very confused, but he is incredibly grateful. And it was just a really fun conversation to explain how nice all of our audience is, in that you all sort of took your time out and in your money and donated to it. So I wanted to thank you all very, very much, and I will shut up about this now, I promise. But thank you.
I said this last week as well, but I'm going to say it here: you will not spend your money on anything better today. So okay, done.
There you go. But on to the next story. And the real reason some top stars are off AEW. Now, you may have noticed that Hikaru Shida and Kota Ibushi have been missing for a while from AEW TV, and Meltzer in the Observer newsletter has a bit of an update as to why. And it's fine. They are both in good health and ready for a return. but they have visa issues. They're just waiting for their visa renewals, which is fair enough. Like, you can't really do anything without a visa in America. So hopefully they'll get that sorted soon and they'll be ready for a return in AEW. And just in case you were wondering, Kenny Omega has been looking after Hikaru Shida's cats, so they're okay too. So some good news there.
Oh, I'm a cat guy. That's genuinely made me really happy. So that's the important thing in this entire story. The cats are fine, folks. The cats are fine.
The cats are fine. I love these weird little snippets in like wrestling news. It's like that weird little real life thing of like, oh, who's going to look after my cats while I have visa issues?
Oh,
Kenny Omega,
the best wrestler on the planet. Yeah, look after him. They could just see it, just walking around with his little catnip. All right, come on, guys. Yeah, very cool. I love that image.
Good stuff. There you go.
Yeah, that's the important takeaway. No, it's good to know that they're healthy, and it is just something like that.
Cats are okay,
and the cats are okay. Can't wait for them to make their debut as well. That's going to be exciting. A double or nothing. Yeah, but it's just good to see that they're okay, and it's something that can get sorted relatively soon, hopefully. Then, and we can see them back on our screen because two people that I've loved watching in AEW when they've been there, and just want to see what they do next. So we'll keep our eyes peeled. I think that's the phrase I'm going for there. My brain's not working right now. We're going to go moving on now to something very close to home for us because over, I think it was WrestleMania weekend, the mighty Adam Wilborn was out interviewing people and Simon Miller was also getting chopped there. That's just what he does when he's out and about. If you see him, chop him. But Wilborn was chatting to Omos, of all people. And this interview's just dropped on YouTube. You want to go and check out the full thing. Really fun interview. Some great questions from Wilborn. I'm not just saying that because he's part of our team, but they actually are really fun. He was obviously just asking about a lot of things. And he said, what's going on? Where are you? Why are you not on TV all the time? I'm here. He said, I'm just waiting. I had fun in Japan and I'm just patiently waiting. He said that he really enjoyed his time in Japan and he mentioned a few of the people that he wrestled. I'm not going to attempt the names. I have watched the video and I should be better with the pronunciations, but I'm just going to offend people. So just watch the video, look at the people that he mentions because I'm just not doing that today. He said he is ready to come back though and he wants to dominate whenever WWE lets him get back off the bench. He said, to be honest, man, I'm just ready to dominate. There's nothing that brings me more joy than to get in a wrestling ring. So whenever that happens, I'm just ready and excited to get back in there. He was so nice as well in this interview. He just seems like the loveliest dude. He's this monster of a man, but just, he seems like, and I don't think, not that he doesn't come across on screen, but I feel like he hasn't had the opportunity really to show how much he loves wrestling, if that makes any sense. His character's just a big destroyer. In this interview, you get a real idea of the passion that he has for wrestling, and I just want the world for him now. I want him to come in and just squash everyone and just get given a chance. He did so well when he was in Japan. I'll be completely honest, I wasn't watching many of the matches, but I saw the clips, and he was just it seemed like he was in his element, all right? And it was one of those things that felt like should have gone on a bit longer. It didn't. It got cut short. It was it was like 3 weeks into the run, he's saying here, that got cut short, and he got brought back to WWE, and then nothing. We all thought, oh, is he going to get a big spot in the Rumble? Are they going to do something with him fun at Mania as an attraction? Nothing. Yeah. And it feels like a waste of both this guy's time and the talents of him. And I'm saying that there's not many giants like that working in wrestling, and someone who, with the right dance partner, can actually do some decent stuff in the ring. His match with Seth Rollins, I think it was at Backlash a couple of years ago, I really enjoyed. So I want more Omos. There it is.
100%. Yeah, absolutely. He's the nicest guy. The very definition of gentle giant kind of thing. We saw him twice over Vegas weekend. The interview was done at Wally Mania, and then we saw him again in the Luxor Hotel and Casino because he was doing a photo op right before one of our Ups and Downs episodes, and he kind of left his big photo op queue to sort of come over and say hi to us because he's just a lovely guy. So yeah, super nice. I want only good things for Omos. Go watch the interview. I'll pop a link in the little eye thing in the top. So you can go click that and go watch and find out for yourself what a lovely, lovely man that guy is. Because he just is. And yeah, want the world for him. Just nice things to happen to nice people. That's what I want. Yeah. Cats to be looked after and nice things happen to nice people.
What a positive video. I mean,
you're right. Look at us.
We're changing, aren't we? We've mellowed. Yeah. Mellowed somewhat.
But anyway, if you want more niceness, follow us over on social media. You can follow me at Film My Chambers, and you can follow this guy
at gmorgan04 on X, at Gareth Morgram on Instagram. And then if you're into personal training, fitness, all that kind of good stuff, follow me on Instagram at fitness.focus.gm as well. There's a little link in my bio for the Instagram page. Do that.
Do that. And most importantly, have yourselves a bloody good day.